Good evening, yeah, good evening and welcome again to Dice Baby. Tonight's episode sponsored by Calvin Klein Underpants because we're keeping it brief. We only have a couple of hours. We're doing a bit of a shorter session tonight, so let's go ahead and waste some of our time. I would say waste no time, but I like to think that this is a time waster. Who wants to recap last week's session? We're not going to introduce ourselves. You should know who we are by this point.
Is this not a live reading of Team America? That's what this was.
Team America
Hey, hello, France.
Who would like to recap last week? Who remembers last week? Wow. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
Could you do that in a Mickey Mouse voice real quick?
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
A real boy. I'm gonna recap this one. You're gonna regret this.
He's committed. That's it.
Last week
I only wanted the oh boy.
You did not.
You've given me.
clarify.
There's no clarification. Last week we started off with Rosberg almost dying once again. It's a weekly thing now. I can't wait to see how I die to a werewolf this time. Woo! So then we buried some bears and unclogged a drain. That's exactly what happened.
That is completely correct.
Then we were woken up next morning by Lane, the suspicious general store dwarf. She had heard some wolf sounds and decided they must be werewolves. So we went up to Lord Garrow's mansion with Lane, and he was like, yes, investigate these sounds because it's your job. And if it's especially dangerous, I'll give you some extra cash. And very sorry for your dead friend, here's a new one.
Yeah, that's right. Fresh out of the box.
It's a good thing we kept the receipt on for sale, because they were expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
It was almost like he appeared out of the wall.
Exactly, yeah. He appeared just out of nowhere. Convenient, eh? So we went to Lane's shop. Essentially, the only important stuff is we got some names of the other people we should talk to. We got the direction that this weird sound came from, and we told her not to leave town.
Yeah.
I told her.
There you
From
go.
Yeah.
We then went and saw Merrick the smithy. He lost some time last night. He has a bite mark on his arm. He says was from a hunting accident. It didn't really heal very well. Yeah. We found a random iron ingot later on. He's suspect number one. But because we are apparently trained investigators, we didn't just jump on that and just go with that.
I think you'll find you're actually trained plumbers from that drain unclogging you did.
This is a good point.
You guys are out of your element here.
Yeah.
Tell you what, if the werewolf were down a drain, you'd be onto it.
Yeah, that's
Did
right.
we get paid for that? Are we professional plumbers now?
We should have charged a call-out fee.
We should create a brotherhood of plumbers.
Yeah.
A super brotherhood of plumbers.
After Merrick, we told him not to leave town. Then we decided it'd be good to split up. So we didn't tell more people to leave town.
This is the episode. This episode right now is just going to be this recap.
It's constantly telling people who live in a village who would never normally leave town to not leave town.
Nowhere else to go.
The town hostage, effectively.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Rosbergers at least.
We found a football named Dan Lowe, who was potentially the most suspicious person I've ever met. I've never met an NPC I immediately thought we should kill more.
Okay, I feel like at this point, I'm like, what kind of NPCs have you been meeting? Because I'm imagining, like, what if I introduce it as a regular guy that walks up, clicks their heels together, and says "Sieg Heil"? And like, would that have been more of a kill on sight? Or
No, honestly, it was just the voice. I was immediately like, that's a serial killer.
He's bringing peace and love.
He's only going to kill again.
Honestly, I think we should do this between each episode as like side content because this is a fucking blast. Holy shit.
Previously on.
Rosberg reads.
So after we met
shit,
Dan,
this
well,
whole stuff.
by Danlo, sorry, Danlo the Furbolg was met by our current Furbolg friend whose name I can't remember. Oakley Fellbranch.
That's right.
Well, the rest of us, I missed the important part where we chased some sparrows.
Yeah, that's right.
That was very important.
Yeah.
While the idiots chased sparrows, the more normal people in the party went and talked to Dariel Pin? Dariel Plem? Plem, that's
Plem.
it.
With 2 M's.
Dariel Plem, the carpenter, who was kind of rash and slightly rude, but he was pretty jumpy. Oh wait, no, that was a hilarious scene. Yeah, you guys like scared the shit out of that guy. I really want to go back and tell him not to leave town.
No. Someone did. I watched it back. You took someone made sure to tell everyone to not leave town because you weren't there. So you, you were like, look, just
The conversation
don't
was
leave
so
town.
bad, I was like, fuck it, just don't leave town. It's all
Oh god.
We just then I think we met up again and we met Tok, the
Carpenter, I believe. No, the Tok is the mason.
Tok's the mason, yes. He was rude and he was going to have lunch with Merrick. But he was rude but kind of like reasonable.
The two details, he was rude and he was going to have lunch with Merrick.
something definite inside.
I
my
mean,
God.
he heard some wild dogs and some owl noises, so there were definitely some dogs or wolves around.
I think you'll recall Rosberg
shit my pants.
Not their native climate on face.
Exactly, that was the issue. Then we all went and talked to Don the Orc. Don the Orc.
I had nearly cut
woodcutter.
myself down.
I'm sorry. Don the Orc woodcutter, who was very suspicious of us at the start.
It was a mafia boss.
Yeah.
Hey,
Coming-
you're
coming
down
to the-
north. You want
coming
some
to
wood
this
cut?
house.
Okay, you some wood.
Ironically, he thought we were part of the mafia until
that's right.
Torgal was like, "Nah, they're pretty okay, G."
That's pretty much how it went, yeah.
Such a toggle thing to say.
Then we buggered off and went back to Merrick's, said hi, gave him some stuff to make, decided he was super sus, went to Garrow and was like, "We want to arrest Merrick." And he was like, "Please don't." So we agreed. So we went back to Merrick and was like, "We're gonna stay in your house for the night. We'll do some work for you, just be chill. And we promise we'll do non-lethal damage when you transform into a wild
Oh my god!
That's exactly how
We will wreak your shit, but non-lethal.
That was the fucking best.
Yeah, I feel like, remember there was a guy in the chat last week who was like, "Hey guys, this is boring."
Oh,
Do you
that's
like
the important part.
Oh yeah.
throw Orcus at the party or
We-
something?"
the
We're
important
like,
part-
"Hey, screw that guy." Anyway, we just uncleared a drain.
The important part was yeah.
Chase some birds.
Yeah. You will not believe what we said to every single member of the town. Told them not to leave it. What a prank.
Yeah. Got him.
Got them fucking good. You should have seen their faces.
Have you
Mostly
seen the
terrified.
ones,
Reacted really badly.
So,
That's us this week, guys.
Yep.
See you next week.
thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Oh my god.
For more
D&D.
content, say subscribe to.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So with that, let's get stuck in. That's what happened last week. Oh, okay. It came up saying new audio device detected, and I thought, don't tempt fate. Just press. Just don't click anything. Assuming that we could still be heard. Let's go ahead and get started. So the place we left things off was, yeah, you had what was honestly quite a tense and fraught conversation with Merrick. The only thing that wasn't established was whether you were going to observe him in, or rather take care of him in his house, or whether he was going to spend the night at the Lord's Manor. I think you were leaning towards it just being his house, like it was sort of the non-discussion led to that. And that's more or less where we'll pick up. At this point, it is stretched late enough into the evening that Merrick has made his way off to bed. Probably for one last wank before he dies. I don't know. sort of like in a.
Probably harder to do with wolf heads.
Yeah.
He's got an engine on.
What if that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they're hearing? You're actually just hearing the sound of a werewolf finishing.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Anyway, it's just oh, like that's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on. And
Real
everyone else
cartoon
is like,
character,
is our
yeah.
livestock gonna die? It's like, nope, just jerking the gherkin,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Um,
They might drown.
So when we left off, it
Yeah.
was roughly what time?
when we like fully left off, it would have been coming on 6.
Because we did want to try and spend some time to have a friend or else make some silver
Yeah.
manacles
You
if
had
possible.
leave at the forge. Probably shouldn't work it too late, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had so like you've got a couple of hours
Be
there for
there
sure.
Yeah, make some silver manacles.
Yeah,
If you
sure.
want me to roll on that.
And
And then while he's
Can I assist him?
because this is a very, I mean, I would say yes. This will be a tools thing. So I feel like this should be intelligence plus proficiency, basically.
It's actually intelligence plus efficiency times 2.
We'll then do that.
So that's plus 9 to this roll.
Plus 9 to this roll.
Ah, that's not bad. 23.
Yeah, absolutely, no issues.
Lovely. Lovely.
While he's making that, I want to talk to everyone else and see if they are interested in trying to get as many people to gather together at the Hellish Rebuke tonight. And maybe we can talk to Max. I know we don't have much time before nightfall.
Why were you doing that?
I just figure that whatever attacked Merrick might attack again. And instead of trying to cover an entire town, I'd rather try and cover and keep safe one building. And
Was there a concern about people freaking out?
potentially, but I think
Probably now, yeah.
keeping them safer is a higher priority than just trying to keep them calm.
Well, as long as they're not leaving town, I suppose we're okay.
I think maybe we should just give them an invitation if we talk to Max about it, and say if you don't feel safe in your own home, you know, this is what's happening. Inform them and see if they would like to stay at the Hellish Rebuke. Give us peace of mind. Maybe that was well.
Understands to that.
Maybe.
Maybe especially
house to house.
the woodcutter, because he's way
Out
on his
way.
own. So
Yeah.
How
I
many
mean,
people
he
live
was planning on going to the Hellish Rebuke anyway. We did say we'd have a drink with him.
Wait, why didn't?
Yeah.
he was, but maybe we should upgrade the plans to stay down for the night.
So maybe we'll go house to house in this little town and get as many people invited, informed as possible. I don't think we all have to stay together. We can split off and do it quickly.
Probably stay here with Mick for now.
I'll head off to if we each take a
Right.
location. Is that good?
Yeah.
I think that's him and I both in the forge at now.
Okay, cool. So you guys are there.
Would
I'll quickly
actually
help
be a-
me and Zoo go around and get the word out.
Sure. So we're telling people there's danger and that they should come back with us.
There's danger, and if they feel like they would like safety in numbers, that kind of thing. If they want to feel safe, they don't feel like they can hold their own house down. There is a danger present. Make sure to let them know that there is a danger
Maybe we can
present.
stipulate that it's not immediate danger. We don't want to panic them, but you know.
Yeah.
We'll
Also,
tell them
We're
some
what is
stories
Wishing
and sing them some
Sins
songs and
there may be something dangerous around, and it'd be better safe than sorry if they went to the Hellish Rebuke.
ride the line, you know, alert them and don't rile them up.
we'll tell them it'll be fun.
Yeah,
We can
catch some fun.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a way.
I'll pay for it.
It'll be like a
Sure.
sleepover.
Get out of that.
Yeah.
Giant sleep.
Sounds like the cops are coming.
They're gonna arrest the
I deal
werewolf.
with the werewolf. Clap him in iron.
So the three of us
Okay.
will go around, let people know.
Yeah, who are you going to first?
I think I will take.
Should we wait for the crime to pass?
Yeah, we should wait for the time.
Slow moving crime.
That's really like
Crime.
they're not in that much of a hurry. It seems.
I will do. If we all split up, I'll go take Dario.
Yeah, you will.
If,
All right. So you go ahead and give it a knock.
okay. Dario, it's Monta.
So Hello again.
A little bit. How's it going?
It's quite alright. Anything I can help you with at this hour?
Yes. Sorry to bother you so late in the day. As you know, and dangers afoot in the town. And if you
Is it
would
now?
like to get a sense of safety, especially in numbers, a few of us will be gathering at the Hellish Rebuke, and we figure it'll be an easier place to keep watching everyone, make us, feel a little bit better, give you some peace of mind as well. It won't just be me there. You'll have friends. I'll stay away from you. I'll try not to bother you too much. I apologize for my blurting earlier.
He sort of like pulls it open a bit and just relaxes you. Look, way as I see it, I'm not going to be any safer there than I would be here. And quite like to sleep in my own bed. Much as I got no quarry with Max, why pay for a bed if I've got one already?
Well, we'll talk to Max and I'll try to deal with him. I'll pay for a bit anyways. Honestly, we'd rather keep watch over one building than the whole town. And
feel
something
there's
is
a-
afoot. Something's happened to Merrick. Are you good friends with Merrick?
Are you saying you think there's a need to watch over the rest of the town?
Yes.
Hasn't been in need any time up till now.
No, but Merrick has come under attack in some way. He's showing signs of not being well, and we figure it is
By
highly
a bear
contagious.
he killed,
Huh?
as I understand it. At least that's been the talk. He killed a bear and bit him. I'm not sure I
that
follow.
would be the case. No.
It might be the case that some other bear bit him, and then he killed a completely different bear, having got away from the one that bit him. And there is danger, maybe. Am I following you correctly?
Yes.
Right.
Anyways, if you don't feel quite safe, we'll be at the Hellish Rebuke. You're invited.
Listen, the hour is late. I'm sure I'll see you
Your
around.
bed is covered. See you around.
Thanks for your offer.
That can go on.
I
Well,
can
maybe
still
why don't we
fucking
do
hear
that?
you through the door, you moron.
Just being honest.
He sort of cracks out and goes, You're right. It didn't go very well. I know you all mean well, and you're here to do a job, but I lived in small towns all my life. We've all got to keep each other's backs, and that means we all have each other's backs. I feel safe enough as it is.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who needs visiting?
Talk. Was it talk?
Talk. Nice.
Talk.
Yeah.
Lane. Talk the Mason.
Mason.
Was that Jerry or you just going to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
The real.
Well, I
That
guess
was
you-
Doreel.
Dan
Doreel.
Dan Lowe? Yeah.
I went to see talk at some point.
Danlo has not settled in a residence yet. Not that you would know that. So you don't know where Danlo is necessarily.
That's fine. I will find someone else. So you're gonna go see Tuck?
Yeah.
The woodcutter?
No.
Okay.
Talk. Woodcutter is Don.
No, but
He's
just
the
the woodcutter.
Cool. So that's pretty much everyone covered, right? Anyone else?
That's
Yeah.
his
I
line.
have no idea.
And then
Oh,
maybe
you
you
go
guys-
see
Do
that.
you want to knock for talk?
He can talk.
Opens the door. Ah,
Hello again.
you right?
Yeah, not that bad. Sorry, apologies for interrupting lunch earlier. Stall, innit?
Yeah, you're in business, whatever.
Fair. Listen, all this trouble in the town, we're a little bit worried about the inhabitants, and we're inviting anyone who wants to come to the house group.
I'm
Settle in.
flattered for your worry.
Sorry?
Said I'm flattered for your worry.
Just doing our jobs.
Yeah, I suppose you are. Yeah.
So if you want to come along, we can make sure everyone's settled, everyone's covered.
Ah,
It's up to you, but we prefer to keep it safe.
I mean, fuck it. I could go for a drink. Why not? Who else is there right now?
We're getting the whole town together in there as much as possible, so I'm sure there'll be people you know.
All right.
People I know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I do know the people in the town, which is how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
All right. Yeah. Well, all right. Fuck it.
Follow me?
I just gotta put my shoes on. Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
close the door, and then just, oh, come on over.
Alright. Start making my way back, I guess. You live next door to Hedge.
He lives next door to Merrick.
Oh, it's Mary. Someone, maybe? Took someone's way.
Nice. One less person to worry about.
And who is the third person? Who are you going to?
Lane.
I'll go see Lane.
Okay. Sort of. There's a bit of a delay, and you hear a couple of locks being unlatched. Sort of opens the door. Hello. Good evening.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, down there. Remember me, Oakley?
I mean, yes, it was just early this morning. I'm
Yeah.
not that old, but
Well,
sure.
you know, I have a pretty forgettable face.
Do you need something from the common site?
Oh, thank you.
Just sort of
Kind.
closes and just latches the door behind you. And you see a sort of tucks key in a trouser pocket.
Hey, so,
What are you buying?
oh, nothing right now. Well, maybe. Might have a look around. Hey, no, the reason I came here was, we're getting a few people together.
Are you alright, love?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm great. No, yes. Don't worry about it. I'm
It's
very-
complicated.
I'm very easily distracted. The reason
Sure.
I came is not to buy something just yet, but a few people are getting together at the Hellish Rebuke. You know, we're looking into that thing. That
Did I forget someone's birthday or something?
No. Well, you might have. I just got here today, so you could very well have.
Did they say why they were getting
Yes.
you to send for me?
So, you know that thing that we were looking into for you?
Yes. The sound of well, you know.
Well, exactly. So we're taking it very seriously.
Right.
And just as a precaution, we're putting everyone in the same place because it's easier for the few of us to look after everyone if they're in the same place. Does that make sense?
I'm alright, thank you.
You sure? It'll be fun.
No, thank you.
Come on. All right.
If you're not buying anything, I need to keep the shop closed up.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well,
Uh,
I don't even know what I need right now. No, I'll come back another time. All right.
then.
Thank you.
Good night, and sort of unlocks the door again, pulls the other latch, and just swings it open a few, sort of steps back. Closes it behind her. You hear the locks clicking again.
Just shout really loud if you need anything.
So, what's everyone else up to?
I think we're gonna go.
I'm just keeping an eye on Merrick for now. Just making sure he's okay.
Okay, so you're with Merrick. You're also with Merrick at the forge. Cool. After a bit, before Talk arrives, actually, Dawn comes in and just sort of like opens the door and quite heavy boot falls and maximally sort of. Well, good evening then. Our newest face about town, isn't it? Actually, I think we might have had a few new ones since then. Anyway, how can I help you? And Don just sort of wanders on up and sort of looks. I'll just have a beer. Sure thing. Goes ahead and just sort of paws along. Like, settling in all right? Well, that'll be one copper now. He takes the beer. So who is all in the Hellish Rebuke right now? It's basically everyone but you two, or Sure.
And Torgal is also.
Torgal is also with Merrick, so it's 3D. Cool, yeah. He sort of comes over and
I'm gonna keep a watch out. Actually, I'm just gonna stay walking around the Hellish Rebuke in Merrick's place. Just walk.
as in like outside.
Or just
Like a
patrolling,
perimeter
yeah.
control.
Okay, sure.
Just get a feel for the area.
Yep. And yeah, after a short bit as well, you see Tok come over. Don sort of sits down. Just about as he sits down, Tok opens the door and sort of looks across. Give us around.
That'll be on me, Frank. Sorted.
Tok sort of wanders up to the bar, orders a drink, sits over when he's got it, and sort of puts it down, looks at Don and sort of.
It's going wonderfully.
So I reckon everyone else is gonna get here.
I'm sure it's working its way in stages, but, you know.
How many people live in this town?
I have no idea. How many people do live in this town?
Oh shit. Well, it was 8, but I guess now it's at least 9. And then, however fucking many you are.
Okay.
So how many of them are here? How many of them are
2? Oh, as in like overall?
Yeah.
Technically it would be 4 because Maximilian and Reverence both live in this town.
We're missing 5.
Well,
Did anyone think to ask the mayor?
there's Garrow and his manservant who or whatever the fuck he is.
Manservant. It should be
Manservant.
Just keep saying words, honestly. Just say whichever ones you feel like.
It's close enough. There's
And
Garrow.
his side piece.
His ward?
Manservant is an actual word. Garrow and its major
I mean,
domo.
yeah, so is Turbo Bottom, but
No, manservant is a genuine title.
I'm aware! You're saying it like I don't know! You didn't say you're just like...
Alright, Garrow and his major domo.
Alright, Michael Godson, PhD, Power Bottom.
I think it's Tony Robbins.
I like having medical conditions that have like an acronym because I put them at the end of my name, like they're like I'm a member of the Screenwriters Guild or something.
Anthony Pavlov.
Chris Angel?
Yeah.
I believe my thing was an official, yeah.
MD. Chris Angel, MF.
Is there anything stopping you from just saying PhD when you introduce yourself? Like, is it illegal? Because I feel like if it's not, then more people should do that.
No, it is. It's a protected.
God fucking damn it.
It's like you can't
But who's going to stop you from saying, like,
PhD, and it sounds similar enough that you
PhD?
PhD.
Alright, so... What was the conversation?
There were like
You
5
actually
kids.
tried to have- you're in a different room anyway, so you're not actually talking with these
No, there are
guys.
like 5 people missing. 3 of them are in reasonable places. The other 2 I can't remember.
2 of them are at Lord Garrow's residence.
Yes.
Whatever title they choose.
The Lord and the resident.
However that arrangement is.
Who's the Lord? Who's the resident in your relationship? Holy shit. Alright, yeah, so there's 2 of them there. There is Merrick, Sock, Dariel, Lane, Max, Reverence. 8 people.
Right.
And there's 2 staying at home.
Yeah, Merrick is in his house. I mean, and then 9 including Don, and 10 including Dan Lowe. But he hasn't... Talk hasn't met Dan Lowe. He has no idea that another person has just moved into town.
Yeah.
And we don't know where she might be, so food for the wolves.
At which point the door to the inn opens. Dan Lowe steps in.
Oh, nice.
And sort of sees you all. Oh, this is wonderful. Hi, guys. I sort of sees the tuning in. Hi. And sort of walks over. I should introduce myself again. I'm Dan Lowe. And says that to the orc and the half orc, 2.5 orcs.
2.5 orcs.
It's actually just 1 orc, but
2.5 orcs?
1.5 orc doesn't have the same ring to it. I just moved here. I thought I'd come and say, I'll come and meet people before I settle in for the night. I'm gonna set up my house in the morning. I think it's good to do things that are new at the start of the day.
Well, it's actually pretty lucky you came along. We were actually trying to find you.
Oh my
We're trying
God!
to
Is it
collect people.
someone's birthday? Did I not know? I'm new here. I'm sorry.
Is it? No.
I'm asking, so I'm thinking it might be.
Maybe. We don't know the town well enough. No, we're trying to
Me
keep
neither.
everyone in one place and keep them as safe as possible, at least for the night, just to be sure.
Are we all safer being in one place? And Talk just sort of looks around and like looks at you and like, I don't know, are we?
I hope so. That was the plan. It's easier if we have people.
I feel like someone's fucking paying you to say that with more confidence.
Well, I mean, someone is paying me.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, but that was all me.
All right. Well, you got me to the end of this beer at least, so fuck it. That's what you got to work with.
Alright. I signal to Max to just keep around and just keep people happy.
Keep people sourced.
And as you do that, Dan sort of, any kind of fruit wine. After a moment, Maximilian brings over all the drinks and he goes, well, maybe I should touch wood or something, but this is just about most people have had in here at any one time. Not including all of you. I'm meaning the permanent residents of the town, even though 2 of you arrived today. I think you all know what I mean. I mean, it's a good number of people here. It's good to see that business is... Oh, it's good that you're here, bringing business to my business.
Well, how would you normally get people to come to the business? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I just do from time to time. Sometimes if you want some drinks or something, I supply the whole town. People pop in from time to time. Or, it hasn't been anyone's birthday as far as I know since we all set up in here. Except for Reverence, but he doesn't celebrate his birthday and don't bring it up with him. We do a roast sometimes. That tends to pull in the crowd. Get a whole big pig usually. Get the skin all crispy. I wish I weren't talking about it right now because all I want to do is eat one.
You ever have like an open stage night or something, like stand up, people tell stories?
I mean, my goodness, if we got a traveling troupe through here of any kind, I would be... Well, I'd welcome the music, or performance, or what have you. Just hasn't been anyone through like that this summer. Bit of a shame, but...
Yeah, that is correct.
Slide my little case back.
Well, anyway, are we all eating in tonight, or what's our situations?
Yeah, can we feed everyone? How much would it cost?
Well,
Food, drink for everybody.
sure. You know what? I'll throw it on a tab for the lot of you. I'll keep track of your drinks. How's about that?
Wasn't there mention of pie?
I'll charge fair.
There wasn't.
Sure, yeah, just let me know.
Sure thing.
It was,
Well.
it was a talk about it.
It's
Just
not
Pie.
right. Is that fine?
Reverence was getting a pie.
Yeah. There's pies coming. Some meat from Merrick's trophy. Bear, I mean. And Dan Lowe sort of, well, if it's already dead, then I'll eat it. Okay.
well, that's good. She's not eating things that are alive. See, you don't have to worry about anything.
You know, you questioned why I thought she was a serial killer. That comment!
But Rosberg didn't hear. Now that Rosberg's not in the room, she's like, right now that weird one's not here, I have murdered so many people, like at least 50. I don't know when to stop.
Never is when.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just a verbal thing that we do, just killing.
As the curious lot of you kill many people. Furball is actually Sylvan for cannibal. As the rest of you sort of sit around and just kind of sit. Marta, do you join them at any point, or do you sort of stay kind of outside?
I'm just outside drawing.
Just which one?
I'd probably make my way.
Go ahead and make a perception check while you're out there.
I did bring a talk to that owl at some point.
10.
Okay. As you just sort of kind of like wander kind of around back of Merrick's house and kind of wander around there and then come back across around the Hellish Rebuke and out the back where Max has slowly started building up some firewood in time for the winter around the around the edge, sort of out the back of the brew house and so on, and just sort of keep kind of around the place. Yeah, you don't notice anything in particular. How long do you stay out for? Like, roughly, just till whenever?
Yeah, like I might go check in like an hour.
Sure.
An hour or so.
Yeah, like it's a pretty uneventful hour.
Those of you in Merrick's house, what are you guys up to anything in particular? Merrick has not returned downstairs or anything, so.
Just speedy forging. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff.
Actually, I guess
You'd
I'll
be
do
forging.
until they're done.
I'll
I'll
probably
probably be
check.
checking in and patrolling until they're done.
I'll probably
Maybe
make my
Sure.
way to the end at some stage just to check to see what's going on, if they got everyone there and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Sort of you pop in and like Talk and Don are just kind of idly chattering a bit in low voices because they can't be bothered trying to switch between their accents. I imagine at this point, Dan Lowe's probably just continuing to be Dan Lowe.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are sort of idly talking. Everyone's getting along more or less. Every so often, Maximilian comes over and sort of drops a couple more drinks down. So it gets to a point where, you know, pops one down and Don sort of goes, I'm not going to be able to fucking walk home at this rate. And well, I mean, that's not a problem for me, as you can imagine.
So it's like coming in and
Well, I'll go tend to the bar.
so coming in and say I'll ask Max if it's possible to make rooms available for everyone.
He said, definitely not everyone, unless a few people are alright with getting a little cozy, maybe sleeping on some floors. Can't imagine it'd be all that comfortable. Just don't have enough rooms, truth be told. I've only got the 5, 2 of them are doubles.
Well, I can free up my bed, and I suppose we'll be doing a lot of sleeping. If we will, it'll be probably on the floor somewhere. So.
That's true. Yeah. Same goes.
Well, that frees up one of your 6.
Oh yeah, no, I can sleep on the bar floor, not on the bar itself. But makes sense.
Nice to be how, who knows?
I'm used to sleeping on the road. Like,
Dan Lowe sort of, well, I think I might try that too, if that's what, yeah, I'll just, on the floor would be fine, yeah. Maximilian. Well, alright, I suppose. So is this everybody?
yeah, so I gotta go speak
Make
to
that
Rob.
work?
If you have things handled here, I'll be back.
Okay, sure.
Speak
No.
now. Speak now.
No, I think he literally is going to speak to an owl.
Oh.
Don't think it means it's not like you from Elizabeth taking a piss.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Gotta speak to the old owl.
Talk just like, I'm gonna start fucking using that now.
Yeah.
I go outside, I start beating him.
Furiously.
I really didn't need that, actually. Oh my god.
No, I do want to go and find that owl though.
Okay, yeah. The nest. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, getting out to like where it was is probably not too difficult. The sun's gone down, so go ahead and make a perception check.
That's 22.
Okay. I mean, being as it is, owls are known for not making noise or being particularly visible. You sort of try and take a look at the nest. You're able to climb up a bit, sort of poke your head, and you can see one owl nesting in there.
Like a grown-up owl or a baby owl?
Seems mostly grown up, mostly fully grown.
I just say, hey,
Swivels its head around and looks at you.
hey, don't worry. Hey, you might be doing me a favor. I can bring you some food, but I just want you to keep a lookout for me, okay? I would like it if you flew around, and if you see anything that looks like a dog,
Make a perception check.
as from behind, suddenly there's just this like, just kind of like buffeting on the back of your head. As you take 2 damage.
Hey, I'm a friend.
2 damage as another larger one sort of flies sort of like off the back of your head, and then like goes across to the nest and sort of lands down and sort of like looking at you like.
Hey, I came to ask for help. It's really rude. Now,
How many fucking animals am I gonna have to roleplay with you at the party? I just realized it's like I've.
well, I can speak with animals indefinitely.
It's gonna be a thing now, isn't it?
Just keep using it.
Okay, so this is to keep you safe. I really need your help. Okay, so I need one of you to fly around. And I know this is your hunting time, so I'll bring you some food in the morning if you do this for me. Okay? So if you see anything that looks like a really big dog, I want you to go down to. In fact, I might show you the building, and just come and find me. Okay? Now,
Make a persuasion check.
now, I can do this at advantage, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Alright, persuasion is plus 9, 28.
Just casually drop that number, huh? As sort of like.
Come on. Just jump on, I'll take you down. And
As in, like, very suddenly, the one that came at you from behind you sort of like takes off and then just comes to rest on your arm.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to show you where the building is that I'm going to be in. And if you see any really big, scary looking dogs, you just come and find me there. And I'm going to basically take that off and show it through one of the windows into the pub. And you just come here, and I'll keep an eye out for you. And if you don't see anything scary, that's great. But remember, big, huge dog.
Takes off again, just very suddenly and immediately into the nest.
Sweet subcontracting. Maybe next time. I say, great. How's one outside?
I was gonna say, like, as you walk in, you say that, and Max sort of like, so we did just see you out the window with an owl on your arm.
Yeah, that was. That's all part of the plan. Is there shit on my head?
Not as far as I can see.
Okay, good.
Stan Lowe's, does that happen to you often here?
Well, no, this is the first time here. You know, you talk nicely to them. Sometimes they help you out. If you see an owl in that window, just let me know, okay?
And like they kind of look at each other like,
It's important.
sure,
Come
I'll
on.
let you know.
Thanks. Alright, well, that's my job done. You guys entertaining these folks?
No.
I was going to,
As I mean, honestly, Todd's probably just like, nope.
Okay. You like
Ah, you're good enough company. All right.
if there was some way we could entertain them, I think it would help the time pass rather than it being like a countdown to, you know.
You bring your penis pump.
Do you like stories or do you like music?
Never really thought about those two things fucking being at odds with one another.
Well, it's gotta be one.
Kinda like
You can't do
both, I
at
guess.
the same time.
Have you heard of a musical before?
Like Danlo immediately pipes up
I
like,
just met a girl called Maria.
should I have?
Yes.
What is
Yeah,
that?
you should have.
I feel like that's the.
What is it?
It's telling a story while you're dancing. And like
Can
a lot
anyone-
of people do it at once. It's like everybody gets together and does it. It's crazy.
Can I try
Like
and...
looks at you and says like a flash mob in Sylvan.
yeah.
Yeah, but better prepared and less annoying. Because the people who experience it pay to see it.
Can anyone? I mean, do you all know how to do that? Is that something people know how to do?
Can I reach into my my haversack and try and see if I can grab out any like
Roll a d100.
any plays or something like that? Or
Let's
I
any...
just
go.
love the idea that like 5 of us are gonna do a musical for like 2 people.
Oh damn, son, that's 96.
You find 96 minutes.
96. Okay.
We find the
You pull out and like you know this book. This is a very this is one of the most well-regarded academic treatises on the evolution of like theater
into its modern form by probably one of the most famous living playwrights, a gentleman named Byron Blue Knight.
Nice.
He's probably not going to live much longer. Like, he's an elf. He's like knocking on 1,000. This is relatively recent, as in within the last 80 years. The fact that you've even got a copy here is quite impressive because he wrote them on the homeland. And like, I like to imagine it's like, oh my god, I forgot I had that. I was going to read that. And you just so that's what you pull out.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna show it to the others and be like, yeah, so this might be some inspiration for us. I mean, you couldn't hear it. We're here.
Danlo just leans in and goes, do you just read that out to everyone? Because that looks like a lot. I don't think we have that.
yeah.
How long is a musical normally?
Well, I'll be honest, this is further than I've ever gotten into this discussion. Normally, I just tell the stories that I learned from the family and traveling.
Do you also dance while you tell these stories?
No, I
Can
play
you
music
dance?
and I could try. You want to?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you want to go.
I'm gonna-
You want to fucking
Go.
dance?
Let's dance. Go on, let's dance. Let's dance. Sorry.
Fucking go.
You wanna
Hey, we're
fucking-
going, sweetheart.
yeah. Well, for what it's worth, if you have any stories to tell, I could do some stuff with my magic, like make little fireworks and sounds and stuff. So.
Sure. You want to hear a story?
And then, like, the orc and the half-orc kind of look at each other and finally talk. Don rather just goes like, fuck it, why not? Go on. Tell your story.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you one of my favorites. Well, it's the start of probably my favorite saga. It's from a small town called Sodmarsh. This town wasn't much good for anything but producing whiskey. And on the road into town, there was a man walking by himself. The man's name was Gideon Crow. Gideon, he was traveling, and he had about a week left to go, but there was one more stop on the way, and that was Sodmarsh. But when he arrived in town, everybody was sick. The whole tavern was full of people.
I'm gonna make like prestidigitation things.
And then, like, they're kind of
Poison
looking at
sounds
each
and
other, like, in the tavern, and
They're just like, what the fuck is this? Well,
is that the end?
no.
You
there's,
trailed off.
So he arrives in the tavern looking for a place to stay, but all the beds are taken and everyone's taking up the floor, sick and dying. And so Gideon says, I'll look into this for you. If you can give me a warm bed to sleep in, I'll look into it. Now, another man had also agreed to help. And this guy's name was Eskel. He was a big man and he was just happy to be on an adventure. So Gideon and Eskel said, why don't we put our heads together and see if we can figure this out. And so they did. Their investigations led them to the well. The water looked normal, but it smelled off. Now Gideon had this bird. It was an owl that he could. It was his familiar.
Oh, and you've got an owl too. Are you
Exactly.
Gideon in this story?
No, I wish I was.
Yeah.
No, but see, Gideon is into men. So
Just
Gideon,
for the in joke, this is our home campaign.
I got that.
Yeah.
I figured that from context. Yeah.
And as he's telling the story, I'm actually using prestidigitation to create like
Two
little figurines and
penises.
stuff like that, and create sounds and yeah, just
I'll do
fix it.
minor illusion to try and help that.
Ah, yes. Like minis and stuff
Yeah.
like
They're
that.
mostly just looking
Yeah.
at the at that, kind of like listening to the story, and then like you trail off, and you guys have got nothing to go on for a second, so it all kind of stops, and they'll start looking at you again.
well, so Gideon has this owl, right? So he just drops the owl down the well, and he starts looking through the owl's eyes. And the owl sees at the bottom of the well, it links to this underground, like an aquifer, with a running stream that provides fresh water for the town. There's a cave going on. So Eskel and Gideon climb down, and they follow this stream upwards. They follow it on and on until they come to the natural spring where the water comes forth. It's open to the sky and it's beautiful. Except for the source of the poison is a pile of rotting meat sitting right in the middle of the spring. It's disgusting and it stinks and it's leaching all sorts of foul and
Oh,
noxious.
why is that there?
Well, funny you should ask. Standing
I don't think it's
around-
very funny at all.
Well, it's pertinent you should ask. Now, standing around this pile of meat, several goblins, and one standing on top, clearly the shaman. He's working some kind of spell on this meat. And get in an escort. They say, no way, we're not putting up with this. So they attack the goblins. They slay them all quickly, but just before they get to the shaman, he finishes what he
On
was
like
doing.
asides to talk like. Wish that we could put a spell on my meat sometimes. And the two of them are just like sniggering away.
And the meat comes to life.
Yeah.
The shaman finishes his spell, and climbing out of the pile of meat is a terrible creature made out of sinew and bone and rotting flesh. A rawhead, a creature of old folklore,
Like a meat man.
like a stinky meat man. Exactly. Anyway, Gideon and Eskel, they fight hard and they manage to kill the rawhead. It was a tough fight. Battered and bruised, they make their way back down the stream and back to town and explain what happened. Over the course of the next couple of days, they cleared away the meat, and fresh water was brought back to the town. Gideon and Eskel, having to move on, decided to share the road, and that was the beginning of a very terrible friendship between two assholes. Well, I'll tell you the rest another time.
I've got. Looks at you and Sylvan and goes, I've got a silly question. I'm sure this is just a language thing. How did they share the road if they didn't own it in the first place? Or did they own that road? And if they did, you never said.
I suppose it's like when you borrow a cart, but you can fit more than one person in it. You're just using it. It's not yours.
So they just borrowed the road?
Yeah, pretty much.
Who owns roads usually?
Well,
How did they give it back? Were other people allowed to use it while they were borrowing it?
I don't really know the answer to that. But
Because usually I just walk along roads. Was I not supposed to do that? Was I
no,
supposed to
you can
borrow
do
it
that just
first?
fine.
Oh.
But you don't own it, so you couldn't stop other people from doing it, right?
Well, I guess not. I've never tried.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. It's pretty rude.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be. I would be very upset if someone tried to do that to me.
That's called being
I guess that's why I've never tried to do it to someone else.
So, more literal stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it check the mood to see
Well,
how
that was,
everyone is?
That was a great. Dan Lowe is just like boggled.
There are
No.
there are other towns.
Talk and Don are still kind of like having like little asides to themselves, especially as that's going on. They've slipped into Orc while they're having this conversation, so you guys can't really hear what they're saying, and they are sort of laughing quietly. And then finally, it's just sort of starts getting a bit louder, like to the point where it's like a proper like they're having a bit of a giggle. It's no longer like under the breath, chuckling away.
If only Torgal was here, I could see if they were being dicks.
Yeah.
Can I insight check them to see if they're being dicks?
Yeah, go ahead, make an inside check, see what you get from context.
Dick roll, please.
25.
Nice.
They are probably they're probably making some jokes at your expense,
Should've
but not in
rehearsed
like
music then.
not in like a mean way. Just more in the thing of like, you know what, like when you see a movie, a lot of people work very hard to make that, but I will still rip the shit out of it later,
sure,
right? Like
yeah,
it's that sort of thing. Like it's no beef with the people who made it, but I'm like, hey, here's something fucking funny and weird about that, by the way. Like when Optimus Prime in the second Transformers movie says, "Give me your face." He definitely doesn't say anything else. He says that. It's in the
Give me your
subtitles.
face.
That's what he says. And I still don't know why. I stay up at night worrying about it, honestly. I'm like, what did he mean by that? And honestly, if I ever get to meet Michael Bay's script writing team for that movie, that is the first thing I will ask. Is like, why did he say, "Give me your face"?
We're
Can you
like, we
just,
don't remember. We're
just
like,
give me some
high as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, we were whacked on shrooms, dude. I have no idea what we wrote. Well, honestly, we just wrote explosion, explosion. The voice actors act honked and all. It's great.
We worked on Transformers. What?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh,
It's
10
fine.
points from Gryffindor.
Yeah.
You shouldn't laugh at that. We're all nearly 30. Come on.
10 points now.
Some of us in the other direction, but you know what I mean.
That's probably fine where it is.
None of us are mature enough, so.
Speak for yourself.
No, we get that.
Um, Maximilian sort of comes over with another couple of beers and talks sort of. Fucking. I should be getting home.
You sure, Tuck? You don't fancy another?
I mean, I still gotta work in the day, and it's, you know, loud.
Okay.
Don sort of. Yeah, suppose me too.
Well, the point of everyone coming here was to maybe stick around. There are places to stay here if you want to spend the night.
Kind of Don goes. Oh, in all fairness, house isn't in great shape as yet, so. I mean, the bed's pretty bloody good, but. Alright. Not gonna decline the hospitality being extended here. And he talks to looks at him. I should get into my own bed. You know how it is. No point paying to stay in a town I already live in, you know.
Well, I mean, we've got it covered. It's
I mean, it's not worth your money either. I've got a bed. I mean,
At least let me walk you back. Make sure everything's all good.
so it looks you in here. Sure.
it is what you think it is.
Yeah.
Protection from
Yes.
werewolves.
Is that what you say? So like, well, good to know he's got a werewolf-sized condom.
Yeah. Protection.
A pile of meat.
They're silvered.
A rotten pile of meat.
Silver.
Why are all your characters so awkward?
Silver for her pleasure.
I have to have normal people react to what you like the whack shit that you guys keep saying. Oh my god. Yeah. He's sort of like,
If you don't want it, that's fine.
I think I can make it up just across the street, but I mean,
Okay, just
Thank
shout
you.
really loud if anything scary happens.
Yeah, just follow it.
Like, ah!
Any issues, come see us.
The signal is
hold on a fucking second. Hold on. What do you mean?
Any issues, if there's anything that untoward. You know we're doing an investigation.
Like issues like I take a shit and can't wipe my own ass.
Yeah.
No,
Is
that's
that-
to be fair. But
Yeah, actually, we've. You could probably deal with that with your magic. That can.
Sorry.
No.
I heard you guys are pretty good plumbers, actually.
Technically speaking, yes, but
Is there another way to speak?
He does
I
have
would,
the magic. He just chooses not to.
I would recommend that you stay, Tuck. I mean, the thing is that there might be something dangerous out there just for one night. So.
Oh, you
yeah,
said
don't
my
have to
name.
pay
I was
for
trying to
anything.
figure out because you said stay tuck, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm free balling.
Yeah.
And like Don like has a fucking go at that. They're having a bit of a laugh. Dan looks at you like, and in Sylvan, free balling?
Yeah. That's
I don't even know if you have balls. Probably.
yeah.
I'm sure I could find some. They're just.
I'm gonna.
Meanwhile, this conversation, as this whole thing just descends into chaos, I'm gonna get up and go. Everglad. Actually,
So wanders over to the bar and I'll get a glass of water before we go. Max sure thing. Sort of heads back to the kitchen. Excuse me, heads back to the kitchen and just sort of comes back with a tank of water and pops it down. Talker sort of grabs it. Turns around. All right. Gonna love you and leave you.
Let's talk the other one that we were suspicious about.
Slightly.
A little bit, yeah.
As he heads out the front door of the inn, heads across the road to his own house. Meanwhile, as we were in Merrick's place, it's got late enough. He's turned in. You would have long since ended your tenure at his forge. What are the two of you up to?
Probably like keeping the door open and just having a bit of a tidy up.
So
Just a real. That wasn't at all what I expected you to say. Actually, like, is that a euphemism?
No,
No, just keeping the door open. You know, like you do when you keep the door open and have a bit of a tidy up at someone else's house.
No. Okay. So this is a genuine. So tidying up in the forge area, keeping the door open so we can hear from inside the house. Hear anything.
Okay, so you're tidying up the floor. Okay, I thought you were like inside his house
Okay, just
with the
having
front
a
door
tidy-
open, just like sweeping, like stacking magazines or something. Like what you said makes a bit more sense. Yeah, as you sort of just give it a bit of a clean out, and yeah, sure.
what's the difference?
Did you go back to the inn in the end?
Yeah, now that everyone's sort of like dissipating, I'll go back to Merrick's to.
Sure.
What's the distance between the Hellish Rebuke and Merrick's?
It's like across the street, so
We're
Like-
within 60 feet.
yeah, oh yeah, easily.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Like it wouldn't be more than like whatever 6 meters is in feet.
Oh, it'll be.
It's like 12, 15, something like that. 15 feet. I'm going to say it's 15 feet. The street is 15 feet wide. I'm going to stay consistent on that ruling.
Cool.
Yeah, just probably head up Rosberg.
Yeah, I'll just telepathically send Rosberg a message that he can't reply to.
This is the first time you've ever done that to him.
You just hear
So just like out of nowhere, you hear the voice of a guy you met this morning, and you met him chasing sparrows, and what do you say?
You see, hey.
I can only think that I jump about 3 feet in the air and then try and punch the air where he would be.
I like to imagine it's like Tony Stark having a nightmare, and he like wakes up in the suit of armor, it's like ching 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 ching, like you're like immediately armed.
Well, I didn't take my armor off, but
Sure.
I can't. But you know,
I say,
Like ever?
Rosberg.
I suppose.
I haven't around anyone but Torgal.
Fair enough.
This is your conscience speaking.
You must be
Go
nice
on.
to go openly.
This is Oakley. I'm over in the Hellish Rebuke still. You still alive? Just make some noise.
Ow!
Oh,
Here I go.
It's like Torgal, you're like,
What's going on?
Yeah, I probably heard that. Probably run around.
yeah. Like you'd be like, you like head over, like poke your head around the back of the fort, and you would have stood there.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay. Keep trying, guys.
Oakley just asked me to say something from my end. I was all good.
Oh.
You guys have,
Okay.
you guys have the social skills. You guys have the social skills of newts.
How does naturals go?
We just
They're done. They're finished.
Yeah. If you want them, or shall I keep hold of them? I should probably keep hold of them because, let's be honest, the werewolf will be attacking me.
Maybe you
Oh my
can
fucking god.
God.
Oh.
Excuse me?
Asking him to wear them, would that be too much?
Well, they make him feel unwell at the moment, so he's
Yeah.
probably not going to get blood trace.
I mean, we also, as much as we do think he is potentially a werewolf, I think that's just a bit rude.
I agree.
Yeah.
Alright, well then yeah, they're yours. You can get them on over there.
Lovely.
I'm just gonna keep walking around like an idiot.
Fair
What you
enough.
gonna do?
Fuck yeah.
I'm probably gonna go and sit inside and read one of his magazines on his couch.
Cool. That works.
Yeah.
They're gonna telepathically
Actually-
say to
actually-
Mata, "Hey, can you talk like this?" Because Rosberg could. He was confused.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the spell. I'm just like, I mean, like, kind of. But like, did you hear that? Like, kind of. I cast the spell message and I sent it to you.
Oh,
One,
hey,
one,
thanks,
two,
John.
two.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Hey.
Yeah, I was just trying different numbers. Hey, how are those manacles going?
Oh, they're finished.
Oh, cool. What's his
Rosberg's
name?
gonna hold on to them in case we need to schlack them onto the dude, Merrick. I'm gonna keep patrolling and then I might switch somebody out. Everybody should probably get some rest right now and
Yeah, people
Just
are
stay
starting to
awake.
go home. They're getting kind of bored.
what are you guys doing over there?
I just,
Thought that was your thing.
well, yeah, I thought it was too. I was just getting roasted the whole time. It was bullshit, man.
Those ungrateful audience.
I asked if they wanted music and they said they didn't know, so I told
Yeah,
them
that
the
sounds
story.
full of a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep patrolling. You keep people there if you can. If not, just let's keep track of who went home and we'll keep an eye on them. Maybe patrol their house at least once.
I want to try and
Make sure everyone's okay.
get up high. Like, is there any way to access the roof of Merrick's house?
I'm gonna drop in.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
Skylight.
there's
I was thinking,
not like a ladder.
A ladder would also work.
Not like,
Yeah.
no, okay. The answer is not on purpose. Like it's just as possible to get up there than it is to get onto the roof of any house.
Yeah, well,
Like
that's
if
what
you've got a good plan for getting up a house, like it's not booby trapped or anything. It's a
No,
house.
so I mean, is there currently?
No, there's no like intentional rooftop access.
Okay, cool.
You
So I'll
assume
need to find
that
a
what
ladder
they
or
would
something.
probably do is bring someone with a ladder
Yeah.
We'll get someone who can throw it now.
who could throw a normal dwarf.
Are you like looking around for like, do I see you looking around?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I pick you up?
That's preferable to being done.
I just pick up by the collar and I float us both up to the roof.
Yeah, sure. I
I'll
should
float
have.
myself back down.
And as we land, I'm just going to turn and say, "Don't tell the orc."
As you
walking around going, curse these tiny legs. How do people get on roofs?
I feel like you just completed a side quest somehow. Like if you were the main character and he was an NPC, and that's what's going on, and that's what happens. All right. So you're up on the roof. Are you just scouting?
I'm going to keep watch, and so I'm going to open up the book that I pulled out on the history of theatre.
Do you have like a little reading light or something?
Sorry?
Do you have like a little reading light?
Well, I can see in the dark, so...
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
That's useful. Honest to God, that is the most value
Yeah.
your character has got out of Dark Vision so far is scholarly pursuits.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Who needs to sleep?
Sure, yeah.
It's such a scholarly thing to do. To be like, I'm gonna
3
keep watch
meters?
and read books.
It's a bit taller because it is a 2-story. Like, I mean,
Can I just like,
no, you know
I'll
what? You
just, like,
should.
float up, grab onto the side of the roof, and then float
Yeah,
over.
you should be able to. Yeah, like it would be reasonable enough. Yeah, I mean, make a quick either acrobatics or athletics check. Like, this is gonna be quite easy to do because you're just like propping yourself for however long you need to like quickly cast another spell. So you only need like a second or two.
Yeah, that's 22.
Yeah, so you just like float up and then just do another thing and up to the top. Boop. All right. How long are you guys looking to stay out on watch for? Just so I've got a sense of how time is passing.
What time is it right now?
At this point, it's like late, like the equivalent of like 10 p.m.
Probably another 2 hours for me.
Yeah.
And then I'll trade out.
Okay. Go ahead and make perception checks.
Ooh, nice.
16.
For me, that is perception 14.
Okay. As the two of you just sort of keep eyes out around the town, it's interesting seeing it from this perspective because, I mean, you don't usually, like, you're actually quite high up, relatively speaking, and only some of the buildings are even intact, so not only can you see the rest of the town very easily, you can see a long ways beyond that as well, sort of a more significant lay of the land. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and bring the map up, you can kind of see out across all the burned out houses on the western side of town. You can actually see far enough out to see where Don's cabin is, barely. It's not lit up, so it's not super easy, but like you can make it out just barely. You can sort of see far enough out the edge of town. There is a sort of, like, the height of the trees just seems to drop quite dramatically, like there's like some sort of steep slope. It's actually the first inclination you've ever had that the town is like on a hill or a rise or anything like that. It's just not really something you've noticed before. It all seems pretty level. And you can even see, obviously this is something you'd be able to see usually anyway, but you can kind of see the hills lining either side in the distance, and it's just sort of the most like broad view you've ever really had of this place and what it is and even where it is in the world. And you know, some towns and homesteads and things are close enough to cities that you can sometimes see other lights on a clear night. Not here. You are quite remote. As each of you goes on watch, you would all sort of see this same thing, the same landscape with, you know, only really the one road that passes through the town heads off out in a direction no one ever really bothers to come from, and up north towards the entire rest of civilization. Not only are you alone, you are on the fringes. You are absolutely on the edge. Whatever feeling you take from that is up to you, but it's probably put it back in your minds in a way where it hasn't really been since you first arrived. Can I get perception checks from whoever is on the second watch between all of you? Assuming that you're doing shifts.
May as well call it me as well.
Cool. And is somebody else staying in Merrick's house consciously?
Yeah, I would say he did that. Do you want to switch out with someone?
I mean, I'll just stay in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically between, like, there are 6 of you. I'm just trying to work out, like, who is awake for how long, for the purposes of who actually has a rest and who doesn't. Yeah. So you two are going on watch. So if you're going on watch and you've been in Merrick's house up until that point, then you won't get the benefits of a long rest. You will, yeah.
We also get a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, you will
What's
do.
the first point of exhaustion?
Disadvantage on ability checks until you can clear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I probably could have just been asleep up until now.
Sure, if that's what we want to run it as. So, like, are you guys just like sleeping in the same house as Merrick then,
Yeah,
or?
maybe between the two of you.
Because I mean, you are on the ceiling there, so. So the thing is, that's just like normal, like on a watch kind of thing. Like even if you're taking it in turns, if one of you then goes onto the roof for like 3 or 4 hours before going back to bed, then that still won't have been. Because like if you think about it, normally you just do one shift on watch. Anything beyond that is like less than enough of sleep.
I guess I'll, after Jeremiah comes down, I'll wake up and just stay on watch just inside the house.
Sure.
Just kind of like staying in the window.
So you don't get that entire monologue. Sure. And then does anyone go onto the roof of the Hellish Rebuke, or do you just sort of do you transport anyone else up
Oh, switching?
as you swap out?
I don't know if I could do any
Sure. Yeah. So who's replacing you on watch then? Just you. Sure. So I'll get perception checks from the both of you as you just sort of keep an eye and ear out and sort of wander around a little bit.
25.
All right.
15.
15 and 25.
I would like to be good about saying because staying away while I'm downstairs at Merrick's.
So you're staying awake throughout this time?
Well, not the whole time, but
I mean, you're either sleeping or you're not. Like there's only so much I can like. There's only so much leeway I can give there because either you're awake or you're not. And if you're asleep, you're not getting things like passive perception, or can you actively try to perceive. Things might be able to wake you up, but like you can't actively seek to perceive while you're unconscious.
Okay, well, my idea is I'll pretty much just stay up till maybe 3.
And then sleep. So who's taking over the last sort of bit till dawn? Like in terms of like timings, treat this like you're taking shifts on watch because that's the easiest way to work this out. So just you, go ahead and make a perception check.
What's my perception? 17. I do have an owl.
Sort of wander around. I mean, that would maybe be one thing. It's like you notice, the few little critters of the night here and there at times, but aside from that, nothing. The whole night, the whole everything, and dawn breaks and whole thing passes without any incident.
Oh, good. Breakfast time. We're all meeting back.
What the hell is rebuke us?
I mean,
Can we check on the mirror?
Yeah. Check on Merrick first.
Yeah, sure. So he isn't awake yet. You can go up to his room and like check on him and knock on his door. He doesn't automatically wake up when the sun comes up. It's not like click, click. He springs out of bed. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I mean, maybe just. I mean, if the
Like you can like knock on his door. Like I need you to know that it is socially acceptable to knock on his door. I feel like you're somehow trying to avoid knocking on his door.
Yeah, no, I'll knock on his door.
Sure.
And you hear from. Hello.
Oh, hi. Just making sure you're still with us.
As far as I can tell, my arms and legs are all attached and breathing.
How's the arm feeling? Do I need to get over here?
So, it's alright, yeah, it's alright.
Lovely. Alrighty. You want me to bring you some food from the Hellish Rebuke?
I've got something down here I can eat.
Sweet ass. See ya.
Alright, bye then.
Sort of like either side of the door. Like
Just go across the road to the Hellish Rebuke, collect
Sure.
whomever is inside with me.
Yeah, so the rest of you all sort of reconvene in the morning.
How much was that bill for last night?
Maximilian sort of. Whole thing will run you up 2 and 10. Sorry, 2 and 9.
2 gold,
2 silver and 9 copper.
2 silver.
Good gracious, what kind of establishment do you think I'm
Well,
running?
it wasn't
I mean,
shit.
let me ask you
How
something.
much they bring.
And answer honestly, if I said 2 gold and 9 silver, would you have just paid that? Not that I'm a dishonest man, I charge what I think is a fair price. And I don't think 10 times the price is fair, but
Well, if they
I
had
don't
a
know.
good night, then
That's not usually how a business operates.
No, if the patrons if they were safe and they were entertaining the game, then sure, why not? If I got
I'd bankrupt them at those prices. As far as I'm aware, them having a good time is the minimum requirement.
that's I'm glad. Here's
I'm also glad.
here's 3 silver.
thank you very kindly.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. You made some accommodations for us last night with the rooms and sleeping on your floor. I know it's not customary, so
Well, half of you didn't even sleep here, so
we were over prepared, but kind enough to tell us. So
better safe than sorry.
exactly. You're not alone.
Thank you.
And Don sort of drags himself downstairs.
How you feeling?
So,
Aye, it's
that's
pretty
not a joke about cutting wood neither.
good.
Your beds are a little, not the right height for you. Maybe we ought to look into that. Get all kinds of travelers through here, seems. Your room's been all settled for, so I can fix you some breakfast if you want that, but you will need to pay for the breakfast. Sort of. Alright, where you go? Well, alright then. Breakfast's all around. Yours are included in your rooms, which you're doing still 1 silver a night, assuming you're... Yeah, and then it'll just be 3 copper for him. Anyway, I'll go rustle something up, and by something I mean I'll rustle up Reverence so that he can rustle something up for you to eat.
So, he was fine? No problems?
Yeah, I was
Seemed all good.
My dog didn't come back, so there was nothing prowling. At least, at least. Oh, never mind, I'm gonna take him some food. Remind me. Or he's gonna be pissed.
Well, do you want to take care of that now?
Yeah, maybe I'll just grab some meat for breakfast.
Hanging out.
Yeah, scratches the back of your head really hard.
Yeah, that's what they say. Probably worthwhile checking to see the condition of his bite.
Yeah.
If it's healed up at all or gotten worse.
Yeah.
Let's say it doesn't really seem to be anything that happened last night.
I noticed.
Well, we may as well go and talk to Lane again, see if she heard anything else as well.
We should probably just check on all the people who live in the village because just make sure everyone's okay. Something might have happened we didn't hear.
Yeah, I think around.
Sure. And then you sort of hang tight for a bit. Breakfast arrives. It's just some cold meat and bread. Pretty straightforward. I imagine you stash the meat. It's like take some ham and you like it like comes out and you're like thank you. Like take the ham and like stick it in your pocket.
Pocketing ham.
So you sort of-
This is great, thank you.
Delicious. Yum, yum.
Well,
This is how for
happy to be of service. He heads back to the kitchens.
Okay, well,
So doing the rounds.
I might check on Lord Garrow first.
Sure. Yeah, if you guys want to figure out where you're going, we'll do that first.
I'd love to go and talk to Dario Plin.
Pleb.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So you know what? Let's do that first because that's going to be entertaining.
He's left out.
Everyone's left now.
You just see he has a sticky note on the door that just says "Fuck you, Rosberg."
I never met this guy. The one guy.
You're right. You're right. The one guy you didn't tell not to leave town, he left town. So you go ahead and knock on his door. So he sort of comes out to the door. As he sort of opens it.
Hi, we haven't met. My name's Rosberg Bannon, and I'm told your name is Dario Plin.
Very good. I'm in my church still, but if we need to talk about something, I can get dressed. Is it urgent or important?
Nah, we just wanted to make sure that you were still okay, sir. Yeah.
Wasn't expecting not to be. Think you might all be overreacting a little bit.
Maybe, but it's better safe than sorry.
They do say that.
Indeed. Fuck. Yeah.
You are next.
Bye now.
Right, see ya. Closes the door.
Tomorrow? that the bard is going to talk to
It's just
elves.
so hard. Why is it so hard to keep a straight face through all of this? Oh my god. I feel like I'm gonna shit my pants. Holy crap. Like, I'm having to focus a lot of mental energy on just clenching my sphincter just in case, right? Like, oh goodness. Okay, so you go to Lord Garrow, who's a very serious character who never laughs, so I can't laugh while we do this.
Would you like the other one?
Hey, Lord Garrow.
So you knock on the door.
This door's really weird. Excuse me, Lord Garrow.
Fucking Christ, dude. I'm struggling so hard. Is it a bit of a delay?
Okay.
And Terrence opens the door. Morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I know it's early. Just we're just doing a check to make sure everyone's
She looks outside. Yeah, suppose it is. Yeah.
Just make sure you and Lord Garrow are fine. No one since last night.
He's sleeping well. About the best I've seen him sleeping in a long time.
Have you checked on him this morning as well?
Haven't seen him up. Usually pops down into the workshop once he's up and about. Haven't seen him yet, no. But
Okay.
the lady Dan Lowe made him some kind of brew said it'd help him sleep, so figured let him get the most of that. Lord knows he needs it. Don't know which lord exactly I'm referring to. There are multiple gods in this setting.
Yeah. Well,
The singer.
Lord, yeah.
well, yeah. Let's not.
She comes through town every so often and drops a mediocre single. Anyway, carry on.
Well, yeah, I agree. Let's not disturb his sleep necessarily. But if he doesn't stir, there's any problems, can you just let Max at the house review know?
I mean, see you later now.
Okay. Bye now. And we're back.
The rest of you going to see anyone else?
Not a fan of Lord, eh? There you go,
Oh, let's not get political on stream. I'm not a fan of Lord, but I've got a question for you. Can any of you remember how Solar Power goes? Exactly.
Jesus.
Fucking exactly.
Solar
That
Power.
is the single most forgettable song ever. I barely remembered the name. It took me a long time to just even lock that in there. Anyway.
Oh, we just got cancelled.
Ah, shit. Fuck! Crap! Sorry, guys. Oh,
Get your
jeez.
own words out now, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried so hard. I told my Hitler joke off stream and everything. And,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter
I'm
now.
so sorry. All right. Anyway. So, is anyone else talking to anyone else? Let's do that shit. Let's just
Terrified.
Do I
crack
get a
on.
role play with an owl?
Can I get a role play?
No, like you'd be
Say
able
no.
to like come back and like it flaps a bit aggressively towards you, like rather than like perching smoothly on your hand, like comes up and like flaps the wings in your face a couple of times first before landing down,
Okay,
and
I
then
get
takes
it.
the ham and flies off.
I want to feed it like this.
Yeah. just giving it some
regurgitate
owl
into its
attitude.
mouth. You ate the ham, and then you're like,
Yeah.
This way we both get to eat it.
Anyway.
I would probably just be talking to whoever's left who hasn't gone around. Like, what's
Uh,
the next steps?
There's still Lane.
There's still Lane and Torgal.
Just check on people.
Just check.
Lane and Don.
I'm happy to see Lane.
Cool.
If that works.
Yeah.
Don stayed at the Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, he did. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
Talk
Lane.
went home.
So Talk and Lane.
Yeah.
Talk and Lane.
I don't think Talk wants to see me again.
Maybe
Wow.
maybe Torgal can head up top.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
it might be better. Somehow.
Wow, racial profiling. Jeez. All right.
Oh.
So you're gonna go see Lane? How does that go? Let's find out in the next episode of.
Yes, please can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just knock on the door. Lane, you there?
Good. Feel free to come in. I was just about to put the open sign out. Hello. Just a little bell rings
Again?
from behind the counter.
Want to make sure you're all good. Everything was all fine last night. I heard.
Yeah, it's quite alright.
Okay. Normal noises, eh?
Unless I snore.
sure you don't.
We can find out if you like.
No.
Oh.
She sort of. I'm not. I didn't mean it like that.
It's fine.
Can I help you with anything from the store? Do you need?
I don't think so. I mean, I know you still don't have any potions, right? Obviously, because that was yesterday.
No, I've sent a letter.
It's on its way, though. Do you have like?
Well, if they've
regular
received the letter and they've got some, and they can send them here and sell them to me. And I just don't know yet, but hopefully soon. Yeah, anything I can, help with, or yeah.
Just keep an ear out, I think, and just let us know if you hear anything more. We're trying our best to keep the town safe from whatever's out there. So,
Which is appreciated. Yeah.
of course. Yeah. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Yeah, obviously. a busy
Oh, it's no
lady,
trouble.
so-
I've got no customers right now. Not that I don't ever have customers. I actually do. A lot of the town buy things from me a lot.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, if I see anyone new, I'll send them your way. Make sure they know this is the place to get the
Well, it says general store outside, so unless they can't read, I'm sure they'll manage all right. But thank you.
I'm not sure about, so yeah. But, yeah. Anyway, all the best for your day. Good luck.
See you later.
Yeah, head out. That was surprising.
It wasn't normal. Anyway.
It was normal, yeah.
Yeah, well,
So,
mostly normal. Anyway, and then you're gonna go see Talk.
Yeah, like mid-morning when I wake up.
Yeah, you sort of finally like drag yourself over. He is not at his door. You find him sort of in kind of just like sitting in a chair, like out behind his workshop, smoking a pipe. He looks a bit crusty. He's sort of. Morning.
Morning, Doc. I heard our new friends kept you over a bit last night.
Nothing I didn't agree to.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
good man. I wanted to be there myself and check out new fella done. Well, I guess some of us still new fellas around here, but unfortunately we're cold. What say you?
Sorry, what was. Start again. I completely zoned out, I'm gonna be honest with you.
No worries. The boys say you were chatting with Don last night quite a lot. What's he like?
Good enough sort. Get along alright. Normal, suppose. Yeah. Said something real. I mean, I don't know about you, Bill. I don't really know I don't know much about my mother, to be honest with you. Just fucking shit happens, whatever. Mostly grew up with my dad. He's, he was a human. So, it's interesting. Sometimes you kind of talk to the other half, I don't know, whatever we're supposed to call it. And, yeah. He just said they were all kind of coming down different ways and places. The age of shine and everything. I don't know anything about that, but apparently something they all do. It's kind of got me thinking. You ever been up to the north, where the rest of?
Yeah, a few times.
Sure.
That's close to where I ended up being raised.
Sometimes I don't even know if I'm supposed to call them out people, right?
I mean,
This is about the most members of our kind I've ever lived around. Ever.
I can understand that. Yeah. I know there's people, your people, who you make it.
clan. Make a clan.
Well, I make houses.
Well, you might just be talking to make a clan.
Yeah. Nah, shit, I'm alright. I'll be alright. Don't know if I'm gonna get a whole lot of work done today.
I'm not surprised. I was just stopping by to make sure you're alright anyway, so. See you around. Enjoy.
Yeah. As you sort of leave him to his morning drag. So the rest of you reconnoitre at the Hellish Rebuke. I imagine you all like more or less see each other again, like as you're coming back down the main street towards it. Hello.
Hey,
Oh, hey, how did your conversation go? Oh, terribly. Well, that's normal for us.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, as you reconvene back at the Hellish Rebuke.
So, is there anyone that we left off? I mean, I did try to see Logaro, but he wasn't up at the time. Then maybe because he took that sleeping tea, that herbal remedy that's down low. So for him.
At which point she sits up from where she's sleeping, like on the other side of the tap room, and sort of like, morning.
Morning.
Ah.
Did not know you were there.
Was it pleasant sleep in the tap room?
No, not really.
Okay.
Usually, if I'm outside, there's some grass or moss or something else soft and natural. There's a lot of things, a few options usually, and then sometimes just a bed.
So, you know, quite adapted to sleeping in a tap room specifically, is what you're saying.
Not on the
Was-
wooden
okay.
floor. No, it was most uncomfortable.
There's probably no make a habit of it then.
No.
Speaking of which, do you know what the deal was with your where you're gonna be staying while you're in town?
Yeah, we're gonna. I have a house, and I can operate out of there. And that'll be nice.
Okay. Well,
And
have you?
there's a bit of space where I can, sort of in the back, where I can make things, and I think I'll, make things there. I want to see if I can get like a large cast iron, like a cauldron, something a bit bigger for more, because I can only make a little bit at a time, but I can make more of anything at a time, which is really exciting, because a cauldron is something that's just too big to travel with.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you put it? Yeah.
Well, on my head, I don't know.
Yeah, no, not
Wouldn't
this.
that be so strange and see someone walking around with
would.
a great big... I would bump into everything.
It would be great advertising, but you wouldn't be able to move really fast, so it's swings
No.
around about, you know.
You
so
could
it's-
Are you
always,
there?
like, put some ice
She goes,
I'm not helping at all.
and Sylvan, what's advertising?
yeah.
Oh, it's when you tell people what you're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, have you been to this place that you've got yet? So you set up, or were you planning
Oh
to do
no,
that
I'll be
today?
doing. I'm gonna go there today.
Okay.
Well, I've seen it. I have been there before. This isn't the first time. It will be the second time,
Okay.
and then I will live there.
Alright, well, if you
Yeah.
need a hand setting up, if you don't have anything to do, then pop down and give you a hand.
Oh.
Makes things easy.
Okay. Are you done?
Well, we're sort of trying to find later what to do next. So we're brainstorming that at the moment, but
Well,
What's
just
a
wait.
brainstorm?
Yeah.
yeah, we did have that other
Yeah.
plan that we were planning on doing, which was like go out with the guy Merrick and go
Oh,
to
where you wanted.
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
I
Yeah.
That's probably our best lead right now.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
best is a nice synonym for only.
Yeah, that's true.
But also,
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's the most sensical thing you've ever said.
No, the most sensible thing was don't leave town.
yeah.
They just chose to get irritated.
Mostly
It was very
confused.
sensible. It was very sensible.
I just cared about that safety. It's their fault.
Well, here's the other thing, is that seemingly nothing happened last night, and we were expecting some form of transformation. Now, I'm not the expert on werewolves, I'm the expert on wolves now. but not quite werewolves. So I don't know. Is there something that we're not thinking about? Is this if it's not involuntary? Is it something that's they turn on and off?
Do you have any more wolf
You could
effects
definitely
that we
roll
could use?
history or nature here. Your call with advantage. This is something you should just know about usually.
Well,
Never
that'd
mind,
be
that's a 20.
Yeah. Yeah, so 20.
The thing that you know that most people don't know is, once again, like, it's actually something that varies quite profoundly from strain to strain. You'd need more time and like an evidence of a pattern, and you would probably be able to identify like, there hasn't been any correlation with the lunar cycle, which rules out that strain, which is the most predominant. So now you're into like any one of a half dozen minor strains that are less common, all with different manifestations. Some are with a sort of increasing fervor until essentially a permanent transformation. Some are extremely intermittent. Like, often you'll turn soon after being bitten, and then maybe not turn at all for years, and then have bouts of it again. Can be stress related. It varies very wildly. Most people don't know that, though.
There you go.
He says exactly that, and then adds, "There you go."
And there you go.
And there you go.
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically, it sounds like there's going to be one that varies.
All right. So we're ruling out that it happens every time there's a moon, a full moon that comes. So I think we need more intel on what we're looking at, and it sounds like maybe looking into this hunting tip.
I wouldn't mind maybe checking out around Merrick's place to see if there was any disturbances. We might have missed it. Might happen.
Also,
We should check around town for new tracks, and we can have.
Yeah.
That's great.
new tracks. Yeah. Well, we recognize you want to know on your assault. Yeah.
Would you be able to understand it better if you spent time with Merrick? Or is it something that you won't be able to tell which type it is?
Well, we're not even sure it's made.
No,
That's true.
won't be able to tell until he turns. Unfortunately.
Oh, but it may help
not
if
really science
you
too.
can check his wounds. See.
Oh yeah, I'll check his wounds before we go. Hey, once you're set up, how about that lycanthropy cure?
Yes, that was going to be what I was going to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any time frame on that one, just so we can line everything up? No rush.
Any ingredients?
A little bit of a rush.
Do you have all the ingredients you need?
Yeah, we could look.
Oh, I can have all the ingredients I need. I'm not sure what a time frame is.
How many days do you think? If you get everything you need, say today.
If I get everything I need, if I can set myself up reasonably fast, one of the difficulties is there's a few different. I need to get a balance of some wood smokes, and I have to get that right. And I can do it. It's all right. But sometimes I'll have to try a couple of different fires. It depends on how damp things are. That's the biggest thing that might slow it down.
Okay.
It should only take me maybe 3 days. Maybe 3 days.
Sure. Well, if I have any downtime, I can help you out if that would help.
Oh, no, please don't. It's,
Okay.
yeah, I don't
Sure.
think you would know what you're doing. It's
No.
quite technical.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
I've done this before sometimes.
Great. Okay. Well, just let me know if you change your mind.
So was there anything we could get for you?
I could really go for some breakfast.
Do I have any ham left?
I can do that. He does have pocket ham.
No, I
If
gave
you
it all
want
to the
pocket
owl,
ham.
so
Oh, no pocket ham.
that investment will pay itself back.
Right, of course. I'll go and scrounge some breakfast for her.
Yeah, as you sort of head up, and it's like, for too long, Max just brings out a plate of the same thing you guys had and sort of lays it down and goes, "Well, this is excellent. All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
Will we be seeing you around? Just would you be able to just let me know where your house is, just so we know where to see you? That's all.
Okay. What's the best way for me to do that, do you think? I just want to get this right.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you if there's a map, do we have a map or anything like that of the town? Or?
If you drop a pin on Google Maps.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just find
Then
out what
ears
she
up
set
is.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to check in at the Hellish Rebuke last night. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yelp review.
Yeah. So if we can find like a map, or we can just draw out a crude map or something like that.
Yeah,
basically,
sort of
whatever
like
shows.
what house is where, and she sort of goes, as you're sort of like laying out the houses, like this is Merrick, this is Talk, this is Dario, and she's like, I would be that one. Points to the house next to Dario.
Cool.
So on that side of the road, it goes Merrick, Dario, Danlo, and then on your side it's Hellish Rebuke, Lane, Talk.
Okay. Cool. Great. Well, we'll leave you to us. If there's anything you think of, let us know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we should start moving then. We're running through daylight. We could probably move today.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
We need to speak to Merrick about where he went.
Let's grab Merrick.
He has a map of the area.
Yeah. Well, we need to see him first anyway. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna head over to. I was just agreeing with you. I didn't need to say that
Yeah.
in character.
Yeah,
Danlo's still just like,
Yeah.
it's like really interested. Like, wow.
Sure. Yeah.
She like gets up and like, okay, where do we go?
Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Take
you head
my
over
breakfast
to
with me.
Merrick. He's got himself up at this point. He's already it's just sort of taking his time with this morning. You can see he's just sort of like he's just tied it up from his breakfast and sitting down, just reading something. One of those magazines. I don't know. As you, I imagine you do the knock knock,
The history of the evolution of theater, which I left for
which you left on the table.
Yeah.
Should we do another weird knock?
Yeah.
Very crunchy door.
Yeah. Marek, you might want to get rid of the crisp packets on your door next time. It's gross.
You're just all very bad at knocking on doors. Hello.
Glass door.
I fucking hate this
Brave,
bit
very
so much.
brave.
Oh,
People
oh
in glass
god.
houses.
A crisp packet stapled to the door.
Well, this
It's
is
like,
obviously what
this
this
will
is
keep
for.
them away.
Yeah. There's an old village legend.
It's
Crisp
been
packets.
insane.
Crisp packets. Yeah.
It's better.
Oh god. He opens the door. It's like you're all knocking.
Okay,
Anyway.
see you later.
That was
You
all.
knock on the door. It sounds normal. He goes. he goes,
Sounds
Sounds totally normal.
Totally
"Oh, we're getting nothing
door.
done.
regular ass knock.
You go, and then the door goes.
It bites.
It's a movie.
I was just gonna say the door knocks back. So he says, "Come in." It took so much composure to get those two words out. I have no idea how we're gonna get through this scene. Holy shit! Okay.
How'd you sleep?
He slept well.
Weird.
Yeah.
He said, well, right, American.
He looks at you and he goes,
Do we need to go
He
hunting
looks at
again,
you and he
American?
goes, "Yep, and I didn't leave town either."
Well, that's good.
That's two ticks.
That's pretty much.
Well, you're running a
I think that
political
we need to know.
campaign.
Yeah.
Hey, we're actually gonna head out today and take a look around where you went hunting. I wonder if you could show us where.
Do you want me to show you that? Yeah, alright.
And I might take a look at that arm as well. See that's coming along.
Sure. He doesn't have a bandage. He just sort of pulls the sleeve up. It's doesn't look massively better than
It's not
yesterday,
like
but
bleeding or
like
anything?
it has been overnight. It's not going to heal too significantly in that amount of time.
Okay,
Felt alright, at least.
that's good. I'll come back. Maybe do some work on it this evening.
Sure.
It's probably worth mentioning that didn't seem like anything happened last night, so for now, I don't think you have to worry too much about the whole moon thing, you know.
I actually having quite a nice morning, not thinking about it at all. But
How?
sure, alright. I'll take that for
That's
the
the
comfort
attitude.
you mean it to be.
So you're hunting trail.
Yeah, hunting.
Sure. Well, I can show you where the bear bit me, and
That would
Right,
It's the
yeah.
easiest way to
No,
do
I'm
it.
just kidding.
Do you
Alright.
have like a map of trails, or do you want to take?
Oh,
Or
us-
is
really?
Is it close enough?
oh, I
Oh, you can show us.
I mean, I was out for a couple of days, but you can get out there and back within the day if needed. I make sure I'm never more than half day's walk from town. Don't want to be caught out when you don't want to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring that crossbow. I'd like to give it a try.
Like he's already like grabbed it down from the mantelpiece and is like loading bolts into it. He sort of, I don't want to be rude, but it cost me quite a lot. I probably would, and I mean I don't have any other weapons of my own. He sort of looks at like,
Oh, I thought I. You know, like
though I
just
guess
to
you
take
don't
it.
exactly. I mean, you could take armor from the forge if you.
No,
Why am I having this conversation?
No, don't worry.
As he just
No, I think it's fine.
continues
You think
loading
you
I'll
up
know.
just bring.
crossbow.
I got this. And I tap on my leather.
As he sort of loads it up and then like sticks it down and then ratchets it up as it loads up all five. Right, now I just need to not pull that trigger while I'm angry at any of you.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Please lead the way.
before we go, I might just grab my sword back as well, even though I have the silver one.
Oh yeah.
not gonna stop you.
Disappears from the forge and reappears in my bag.
Cool. You come back and you just go like kuk and a bottle just ching, just. Yeah. Alright then, shall we? Can I get you guys to make a perception check while you're on your way?
Dice came through.
No witnesses.
No witnesses.
Because it's not combat, that's why.
That's a 20 for Rosberg.
Okay.
Is that 8 for Jeremiah?
No, I don't think so.
Nice. Steady 8.
So 28,
16.
16,
11.
11,
21.
Whole lot of 7.
whole lot of 7.
Oh,
Well, good. Took you paying attention. That's nice. As you're wondering, you get to make an H check.
Oh.
You as well. As in, both of you get to make an H check because you rolled good dice. Then you rolled bad dice.
Yeah, that was a 10.
Hell yeah.
That's a 26.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Have you done your
Oh shit, no.
yeah,
wrist
like your
stuff.
your
My
visions and foresight and arcana, prophetic arcana?
I did not.
You, Rosberg, keeping a beady eye on the surrounding landscape. You see, after you've been walking for maybe 2 and a bit hours, you pass by just a couple of, like, you know, there's a broken branch here kind of things. Nothing, like, super obvious, like a massive bear droppings or anything like that, or like fur, but like signs of something big.
Or graffiti
sure.
saying beers were here.
Yeah. You see Goldilocks coming back with 3 pelts, one big,
Yeah.
one medium, one small.
Ah, you did our work for us.
I fucked him right up, I did!
Yeah.
So I imagine
I
Goldilocks.
fucked him just
talks.
right. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Goldilocks. bears.
Goldilocks stock and 2 smoking barrels.
Yes.
Squeeze them and shot them in the head.
Cool, yeah,
This
very
is
different
gonna
game.
go big luck.
So, with that, yeah, you do sort of notice that on your way out towards there, and then after another hour or so, get out to sort of pointy. I laid out my bedroll, just that. Was gonna turn in, then great bloody thing from there. Police had this near me, and so on. So it's just, and you can see, like, one of the bolts is still, like, lodged quite deeply in the tree. So, what happens now?
Okay.
You were laying down your bedroll? Why is that?
Well, I mean, I took it back with me, didn't I?
What time was it that you were trying to rest?
It was earlier. I wasn't trying to rest more than just, you know.
Setting up.
Oh,
Eh,
Right.
just
sometimes when you know, having a hunt, good to stay in the same place for a little while,
sure. Like a hide.
especially for deer and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Truth be told, that was more or less what I was hoping for, some kind of venison, but I'll take bear.
We want to have a quick break while we have an investigator of the area.
I don't know that we're really going to need time for a break tonight. I think we can just kind of crack on to the investigation. You want to break that?
There's pure fury there.
You want to use the little boy's room?
Yeah. Can take it 5
Gotta go powder your
minutes.
nose?
5 minutes, I think.
5 minutes to take this.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
of toilet
you know,
break
we'll
and
we'll
get
take
it
5,
all.
but we'll do it in 3. We'll be right back. We took 5 minutes and we did it in 7.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Legends.
John Mulaney had to take a shit.
that was variable.
All right. So let's go ahead and pick up from where we were. America's led you out to where he shot the bear. Shot it right there. That bear was there.
Right there.
Shot it.
Wow.
I love it when you shoot it right there. To the pelt when you walk in it. Yeah, that's a burr.
It's a bear. It's a bear.
So do we want to start looking around?
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead and investigation.
Okay.
This is a
Alright.
finite area.
I will.
Whoever wants to
I
do
would.
it. That's like everyone's.
This is everyone. Everyone gets to do dice.
Oh, was everyone? Oh.
Yeah. But you can give a bonus to someone.
Damn it.
You're still
I
allowed
was
to
going
do
to
that.
do enhance ability on
Yes, please.
whoever's got good.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You've got good survival?
Yes. Survival. I thought we were
No,
doing
investigation.
investigation.
Oh,
I've
it's
got
investigation.
I'd love it if it was survival.
I'd like it too.
Do you have a?
I only have. No, 1.
Please, sir, can
I'd
I
like-
have some
I'd like
more?
his, please.
Do you have a foresight roll as well, or
Yeah, I'm
not that you have to use it? I'm just saying.
No. No. Well, I've got that, but the which one's the one? Is that the prophetic visions
There's-
that I've done on him? For unnaturally resilient,
Oh, cool.
which means you get
Advantage on your first saving throw for each ability before the next long rest.
What is the bonus to this that you've given me?
the bonus. It's giving you advantage.
Advantage.
I would have
Excellent.
given you advantage before,
Spicy.
and I would do my own.
Oh,
Great.
didn't help.
That was a 1. So
Well, what was
That's
the
okay.
fucking point?
What did you get on your foresight rolls? I'm
15.
curious.
Oh,
Good
that
old
was
fun.
absolute shite. I got an automatic success, which I might actually. I can't
Oh.
use after I rolled it, eh?
No.
Automatic success and disadvantage on a roll.
Oh, nice. Hell yes.
And I also
All right.
fuck all for that.
Cool. So, what did everyone get?
15.
21.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
15.
gosh.
14.
9.
Oh, that's
I mean, you're the only one keeping the minute right now. I got 11 with you.
9?
Yeah, as I mean, I like to imagine that this is partially because you saw like a broken branch and maybe have an idea of what you're looking for. You notice a pair of tracks clearly belonging to the bear that was shot. You notice another pair of tracks that looks a little bit bigger, that is clearly circled around where the bear was shot next to this particular tree. And you can also see where those tracks appear to lead to after it circled the tree.
Yes.
What do you see? What do you got?
What's your elf I see?
My
Fantastic.
alphas see a big
Are you an elf?
pair of bear tracks. No.
These
So what are you doing? What are you doing with that?
I'm
A blind elf walks up and goes, "Hey!"
Into my sockets.
I grab Zoo and like point his face towards the tracks. What do your elf eyes see, Zoo?
Don't touch me.
I thought it was like a
yeah,
shower
so-
man thing.
As
you.
Merrick
You
sort of
know,
sees you,
monkey
okay, and
goes
then
shotgun.
you kind of clue onto this, and you. What is it, boy? What? All right, over there.
Um,
I only just managed to get that shit I was holding in under control. Please don't tempt this.
No
There
joke.
was
Don't tempt my sphincter.
a bigger bear, and we should probably go
Sort
and
of
find
pulls
this
up
bigger
his
bear.
crossbow.
My
Well, we
fault,
should.
exactly.
A bigger bear. Can I have a look at that? Can I see if I can identify what these tracks are?
I'm going to
Make an investigation check.
summon
No,
my
make an
great
X check,
sword.
because now you know what you're looking at.
Nice.
13. 4.
And you were going to do the same, did you say?
No, I'm just summoning my great sword.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
that
cool.
Was that a nature check?
Yeah, on him, yeah.
Can he roll with advantage?
What?
please?
Can't hear you. What?
Can he roll with advantage because I have proficiency?
What are you doing to assist him? And does he also have proficiency? No.
I have half.
I have proficiency.
Uh,
I have half efficiency on everything, so
Yeah,
that's a
true,
bit damn
yeah.
breaking.
yeah, so just to recap how that works, if you both have proficiency, one of you can assist the other.
Right,
Because otherwise it's one of those weird things where like someone with proficiency can just give someone who doesn't have proficiency advantage, which is going to be better than just adding proficiency
Okay.
a lot of the time. Anyway,
Do I just roll or?
he just rolls.
Okay, yeah.
Either way, it's definitely enough to tell that like at the very least, just from like the shape of the paw print, it's definitely the same kind of bear,
But bigger.
but bigger, yeah.
Okay.
Seemingly. And that's judging by the fact that like the prints are slightly bigger, they sink slightly deeper. Not that it's muddy, but like they leave more of an impression of the earth.
Heavy bear. Okay, so where do they go?
Off in that direction.
Should we try and track it?
Yeah.
Sounds
Sure.
good.
I can
Eric
track.
walks up towards you as they're talking about this, and he's got his crossbow. And answer honestly. Is it, you know, if I am, then is it safe for me to go near them? Other ones?
To my knowledge, it should be fine.
Alright,
Maybe you should head back. It's up to you. You want to head home? We can take it from here.
I think we can.
sort of looks as
Maybe.
you know, I just realised something. I didn't treat the bolts properly. I haven't covered them in a usually like a
Right.
toxin.
Of course.
That's
Well,
what. So I'd be no help to you, you know, if
Exactly,
I was
right.
here. I'd
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
be, you
That
know,
is a shame.
yeah.
Better safe than sorry. Though,
Would have been
lads.
good to get another rug,
I'm
bigger
sorry.
bigger rug.
That
suppose.
was my fault. I tied it up your forge yesterday, and it was out there, and I just.
Oh no, it's quite alright. I haven't been out to the forge this morning. But look, you're alright. You can make your way back to town.
We'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Sure,
We'll be
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, alright.
Hey, well, thank you. You've been a
Yeah.
great help.
That's alright. You know, I'll. Oh no, I suppose there's no use. Is it? I'll take it with me. Hey,
Sure.
see you later.
Okay, see ya.
I mean,
Stay safe.
Starts heading back towards the town.
See you tonight.
Okay, well, that's a weight off my shoulders. I don't want him to get cut up again. He's already injured.
Not worth risking it.
Okay,
Exactly.
so I wasn't much good at identifying it, but I can track it pretty well. Anyone want to give me a hand?
And you're proficient
I'm super proficient.
and
Super- I'm
expertise.
I've got the expertise.
I mean,
This
and,
is-
tracking, survival.
Survival.
Anyone who's got proficiency in survival?
I got proficiency.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Then
Hey.
you can do this with
that doesn't
advantage.
Help you very much.
I can do this with advantage?
Yeah, because he also has proficiency, so he is assisting you.
Come on, give me something good, baby. Ooh. Still 19, though.
Oh, nice.
Because the earth isn't too soft, it's not too hard to pour series of words in a row. Because the ground is not too soft, rather, it's not super obvious
where tracks are all the time, and every so often you do lose it. You sort of end up looking for other signs of its passage sometimes to help keep your way. You are heading in a distinctly sort of northeasterly direction, and after a while, as in like another maybe hour. At this point, you've drawn near enough to the surrounding hills. You sort of see there's a sort of a bit where the trees are kind of cleared out a little bit, and there is a cave. You can see tracks leading towards it. Just sort of, it disturbs the grass.
Okay.
That was one of the most stressful things I've ever heard.
Aggressive USB.
There's nothing plugged in that's still going. Anyway, yeah, you see a cave.
I knock on the cave.
That's actually the most normal woody sound you've had so far.
Yes,
You had
Yeah,
you
you
had
want me to do
options
another
there.
one?
You could have just.
I knock on the gate.
Alright, well, cave looks like a good place to take a gander.
Okay.
And yes, I'll go first.
I can't see in the dark. Anybody else?
With
not
your
able to
with your
see in the dark?
Sharingan eyes. Your Sharingan elven eyes.
You can?
Yeah, I can see the
Oh, you
Can't
can?
send that.
Anybody not able to see in the dark? Because I
Got
feel really
torches
bad if
or
I was the
anything?
only one.
I can cast light on the shield if you want.
I can do the same thing, but okay, yeah, we can.
Let's do that then.
Alright.
Casting
I'll
light.
Cast mage armor on myself.
I'll also cast my camera myself. Thank you for reminding me.
You will.
I will also know.
As you guys make your way in, can I get a perception check from everyone?
I don't stealth, but
Oh,
baby.
Oh, yeah, we didn't actually.
that's okay.
Perception check.
Hey,
That
son
is
of a bitch.
Hey, you kiss your
7.
mother with that mouth?
That's your gosh darn language.
Alright, what do we all get? I'll start from this direction this time.
16.
8.
6.
7.
15.
17.
Okay, okay.
Single highest.
As you come into the cave, you initially don't see much. It's quite jagged, very rough-hewn thing. Eventually, sort of opens out a bit, and as it does so, again the walls are still this very awkward, jagged formation. This is definitely a bear cave, no two ways about it. There are sort of matted fur and things piled up in different places, different areas. There's sort of a bunch of food that's starting to be stockpiled. You guys hear a low growl, and that is where we'll end for the week.
Ooh.
Damn.
Mega bugbears.
Big, big.
Weird take, but okay.
Yeah.
It is now. All right, I think that does it for the week then.
Alright.
Yeah, Jesus. I hope next week we can get through the recap in one piece. That was wild. You guys survived another session. That's great. I think we could call this, what, session 3.5?
Yes.
Aside from that, we'll be back next weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you then.
See ya.
Ta-ta. Bye now. Don't leave town.